Hi, I'm Bill Augustus. I'm a park ranger in San Diego County, San Isabel Preserve. Today we're going to talk about wildfires and how invasive plants impact them. But don't worry, we're also going to share some ideas on how you can mitigate that risk. If you live in Southern California, you're probably aware of the risk of wildfire. In fact, you probably experienced one. The wide open spaces of East San Diego County are prone to wildfires, which were seen in the Witch Creek and the Cedar fires. Santa Isabel County Preserve is near Julian, and this region was significantly impacted by the Cedar fire back in 2003. The risks associated with wildfires are property damage, injury, displacement of wildlife, and erosion. While many people are aware of the problem, not many people are aware of the role that invasive species play in wildfires. Invasive plants like tree of heaven, tamarisk, thistle, yellow mustard, and non-native grasses are problematic. Trees have adapted over thousands of years to protect themselves from wildfire and pests. Oaks and conifers have developed very thick bark that protects them from wildfires, although recent droughts have had a big impact on the health of our trees. Trees are impacted by pests. The biggest predator here is the gold-spotted oak borer. Other invasive bugs that are common in this area include shot-hole borers, pine beetles, and lurpsipid. In wet years, the trees are often able to fight off the native pests by filling their boreholes with sap. The gold-spotted oak borer bores around the entire tree, removing the tree's ability to move water from its roots to its canopy. This reduces the tree's ability to produce sap and fight off the pests. You may have noticed that we have a policy against bringing firewood into our campgrounds. We provide it for you so you don't have to bring it. We do this because bringing in firewood can bring pests into our park. We believe that the gold-spotted oak borer was brought into San Diego County with firewood. Where possible, we remove and treat invasive plants and pests. For insect infestation, we remove and chip dead trees, cut down and chip trees that are dying, tarp wood piles to solarize them. We trim branches to about 5 feet above the ground. Watch for new trees that are growing in a tight group. A healthy forest has 40 to 60 trees per acre. Many forests today have between 100 and 200 trees per acre. Root sprout is something new that we're experimenting with. This is a new treatment in which instead of letting the infected tree die, we cut it down while there's still some life in it. These are trees that we know will die in the next year or so. Often, new trees sprout from the roots. These trees start out with a well-established root system, so they grow fast. Smaller oaks, less than 8 inches in diameter, are not targeted by the gold-spotted oak borer, so they have a good chance to reestablish the trees in the area. We use forest management techniques to help mitigate for fire. We remove dead branches and tall brush from the area around campgrounds and our hiking trails. These fuel ladders provide a way for fire to travel from the ground into the tree canopy. In remote areas, we cut down dead trees. They will decompose faster when in contact with the ground. We work with our ranching partners to graze cattle in areas where cattle ranching has taken place historically and non-native grasses already exist. And we even build fire breaks where our land stands adjacent to homes. Safety is a top priority for our San Diego County Parks and Recreation. When we build a park, we work with local fire agencies to ensure we address any potential issues or concerns. The same goes for open space preserves like Santa Isabel. There are things that we do to ensure safe access and in times of disaster evacuation. For example, county parks and recreation staff are trained disaster and shelter workers, and quite a few of them have backgrounds in emergency services. Trails and access roads actually serve a dual purpose as fire breaks, making it harder for flames to jump across and giving emergency personnel area where they can stage equipment and attack the fire from multiple fronts. We plant new native species to revive habitats and support the unique wildlife species that live on site. And we provide educational curriculum through our Nature Center, in signs, and during our interpretive programs and hikes. The information shared outlines our efforts and the role we all have to play in wildfire prevention. It's important to note that not all fires are bad. Historically, healthy fires have burned at ground level, resetting habitats while allowing trees to survive. These ground level fires helped remove dead trees and brush from the environment. But when there's too much fuel, the fires cause much more significant damage, so it's important to monitor the tree health and clear debris whenever possible to reduce risk. So now that you know what we do to reduce the risk of wildfires, let's talk about what you could do to safeguard your own properties. Follow CAL FIRE dispensable space recommendations. Plant fire-resistant native ground cover. Use fire-resistant building materials. Don't park your car in areas where there are tall weeds or grass growing. Don't use outdoor power tools during red flag warnings and in afternoons during summer and early fall. If you live in a very high-risk fire area, consider installing sprinklers on your roof, have a backup water source for firefighting, and use firewood only from local sources. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to chatting with you again.